today our goal is to study about the spring loaded system, its oscillations. So our goal is the spring and spring loaded system. Otherwise we will call it as a loaded spring system. So it is not a spring loaded system, loaded spring system. Loaded spring system. This is our goal. So our goal is to study about the spring loaded spring system. Loaded spring system means it is nothing but any string which is the one end of the string is connected with the one rigid support, the other end of the spring is connected with any one of the load. That is nothing but spring loaded system. So that means here to study these conditions, we are taking some of the conditions. What are the conditions? Means the first condition is it is the uniform string, uniform spring. So what is the point behind this one? Means what is the main important cause to write this uniform spring? Means so if the spring is the area of cross section of the spring and the length and the diameter of the spring must be same, otherwise it will change its spring constant value. That means for your easy understand, let me take one wire is there. If the area of cross section of the wire is same throughout the length, then we can call it as a uniform wire. Otherwise sometimes the wire is increased its area cross section at middle place, after that it is the same. That means it is a non-uniform area of cross section of the. So the property will be changes in between these two wires because of they are not in the same uniform. Here is the properties are different, here is the properties are different. Here these two areas are properties are same, but these area is the properties are different. If the area of cross section uniform spring means the area of cross section must be same, then the properties are same throughout the length of the spring. So the second assumption is we are taking it is the massless spring. So the spring is the massless spring means what is the behind assumption is means so the mass, the effect of mass while the elongation of the spring will not be involved. So the mass of the spring will not be involved due on the elongation of the spring. That means what is the load of the spring, what is the mass we attached on the spring, that will only affect to elongate the spring, to pull the spring in downward direction, that only will involve. So the mass of the spring will not be involved. In some cases they will add the mass of the spring also. That case I will tell you separately. I will give the formula for that one. So that means the spring loaded system is nothing but a spring which is attached one end of the spring to the rigid support, the other end of the spring is connected with the load. So if we pull this spring, if we pull this load for certain distance with external force, if you release the force, then the spring will continues to the oscillate in vertical direction. That means it will come to the upward direction and it will go to the bottom direction. So it will make the oscillations. That is the spring loaded system oscillations. Now what will happen to this one? So that means if we pull the spring to downward direction means the restoring force will be generated in the upward direction. This is the restoring force will be generated. Let me take this is the spring. After it is pulling downward direction, what is happened this one? Let me take up to here. This is the body it has. So how much pull we down means let me take this is the extension of the spring. Let me take E is the extension of the spring which we done with our external force on the load. So that means what is the force? What is the extension is observed means the restoring force which is generated to pull the load to upward direction means that restoring force. Let me take that is the F is the restoring force of the body. So according to the Hooke's law, this restoring force is always directly proportional to the directly proportional to the elongation of the spring, and also this elongation in this opposite direction into the elongation of the string. That means the restoring force always the pull the body to its mean position. So F is directly proportional to the elongation or extension of the spring, and it will in the opposite direction. These extension is going to the downward direction. That restoring force is acting to the mean position direction. That is the F is equal to minus E. It is according to the Hooke's law. So it is according to the Hooke's law. This is the Hooke's law condition. So now if we remove the proportional, then we need to keep on proportionality constant F is equal to minus Ke. Here some textbooks they are using instead of E, they are using the X also. Some textbooks they are using the length, small length, L also they are using. So don't please remember these notations. All textbooks are not following the same notations. So let me take like this. Now here is the Ke is the one proportionality constant that is named as the spring constant. Here is the Ke is the spring constant. It is the spring constant. K is named as the spring constant. Now if we take this one to define the spring constant, then K is equal to F divided by E only I am taking. If I am going to define this one, here negative sign is indicating that. Here negative sign is indicating that the restoring force direction and along extension direction both are in the opposite direction only. It is showing the directions of the restoring force and extension. That's why I am not taking care about this one. Then can I write like this? K is equal to F by E. This is the formula for the spring constant. Now what is the word this one? F is nothing but restoring force in the string. In the spring divided by what is mean by X. X is the extension in the spring. To define this K restoring force value, can I use E is equal to 1 unit? If E is equal to 1 unit means unit extension we observe. Then what will happen? Then K is equal to F. That means, how can you define this one? The restoring force per unit extension in the spring is named as the spring constant. Can I define like this? Let me define that one. So the restoring force per unit extension. So the definition of the K is equal to the restoring force per unit length of extension, per unit length of extension in the spring is called what is the formula? Is called spring constant. Spring constant. It is named as denoted with K. So then can I write like what are the units for the spring constant? The units of the spring constant where K is equal to basic formula F by E or X or anything. So F is equal to restoring force. In the SI units, force units are newtons. Extension is nothing but length units are the meters, Newton by meters in the SI units. Now if we take the CGS units means the force units are the dynes, the extension is the length only, length units are the centimeter, dyne per centimeter. These are the CGS units. In some cases they will ask the dimensional formula also. Let me go to the dimensional formula also. Dimensional formula. So what can we take dimensional formula? So the dimensional formula is equal to K dimensional formula. We need to go formula, force dimensional formula ml t power minus 2 force dimensional formula divided by length dimensional formula is equal to L. L is cancelled. That is equal to ml0 t power minus 2. This is the formula for the dimensional formula for the restoring, spring constant dimensional formula. Here one thing you need to concentrate here, very important note is there, please note it down this one. See, the spring constant K is always inversely proportional to the length of the spring. It is a very important. What is this telling? So in the words I am writing, so the spring constant is inversely proportional to the length of the spring. Let me write this one. The spring constant is inversely proportional to its length. Its length. That is the its length. That is the very important. So that means so if the lengths are different, if the let me take two with the same materials, they are prepared the two springs. Let me take the first spring is like this one. So the spring S1 is there, the length of the spring is L1. With the same material, with the same area of cross section, other spring is prepared here. So the other spring is here, the spring is S2, the length of the spring is L2. That means what is mean by here means from this equation what I told you, so K is equal to some constant divided by L is there. From this one, K into L is equal to some constant we will get. So from this equation what can I write? S1 into L1 is equal to S2 into L2 and so on. When this equation we need to write, so the preparation of the spring is made with the same type of material only, but the area of cross section of the spring is the same only, the diameter of the spring must be same only. What I told you, so the wire which is taken, the same wire is here, this place and this place you need to take, and also the area of diameter, that means the first spring is like this, this is the diameter of the spring, the second spring also have the same diameter without any changes, but the length is different. It is the somewhat big length is there, somewhat small length is there, then only we can use this formula. S1 L1 is equal to S2 L2 and so on, like that you need to take. Now let me move on to this one. What are the time period? What is the time period of the spring? So what is the time period of the loaded spring system? That is the important for your 5 marks question. 5 marks question. Now the important question is the time period. The time period in loaded spring system. Loaded spring system. Loaded spring system. That is our goal. It is a very important question for 3 marks. I am requesting you please try to write your running notes, otherwise it may get the confusion. And today and the day after tomorrow we are having the very important concepts. I am expecting definitely you will get the question, one of the question in your mid examination. That's why I am requesting you please maintain your running notes, otherwise you may get the confused. So now the spring loaded system, let me take one of the spring. So it is the rigid support, one of the spring is there, it is the first end of the spring is connected to the one rigid support. So this is the initial length of the spring, let me take this, the initial length of the spring. So the spring constant of the spring, let me take K is the spring constant of the spring. So after attaching the one load on the spring, so this is the load we attached on the spring. So this is the where we attach it to the load on the spring is come to the another extension. This is the another extension place is kept. So while pulling this spring, so due to some force we pull down this spring and also we released the force. Let me take this, the spring is pulled down. So let me take the spring is pulled down. So let me up to here, this spring is come to this one. So if we release this external force, then the spring will come to the picture it will oscillate in the upward direction. In vertical motion it will oscillate like this it will oscillate from its mean position. So what I told you, according to Hooke's law, so if we drag the spring certain distance from its mean position, let me take the distance is equal to y. y is the distance, y is the displacement of the load from its mean position is the displacement of the load from its mean position F. Then according to Hooke's law, the force, the restoring force which is generated in the spring is equal to F is directly proportional to displacement of the spring from its mean position minus y. So now where I am removing the proportionality constant F is equal to minus ky, we will get the where k is equal to spring constant of the system. So F is equal to minus ky. Let me take, this is the equation number 1. So according to Newton's second law, so the force of the any body, the force is equal to mass of the acceleration of the body. This is the Newton's second law equation is telling. So it is the Hooke's law formula. It is the Hooke's law formula. It is the Newton's second law formula. Newton's second law formula. Let me assume the mass which is attached to the spring is the m. M is the mass of the load which is attached to the spring. Then the force F is equal to ma. Just I am taking this equation 1 and 2. I am taking the 1 and 2. Ma is equal to minus ky. This is the formula. Then from this equation I am sending m to this side where m is equal to minus k by m into y. This is the formula. Will you please look on this one? K is the proportionality constant, that is, sorry, K is the spring constant, m is the load mass which what we attach to the system. So that is equal to k by m. This total will be one constant only. So that means A is directly proportional to the y. So this condition is nothing but it is the condition of the simple harmonic motion. So I already told you, always the acceleration of the simple harmonic motion, it will act towards to the mean position only. Here is the mean position. Let me take, it is the simple pendulum. Simple pendulum is acting always, the acceleration will act towards to the mean position only. If this side is bob gone, so this side the acceleration will act always to the mean position. Let me take this, the simple pendulum. It is making the oscillations like this. This is the condition for the simple harmonic motion. So that one, now I am taking the equation number 3. This is the equation number 3. So you already well familiar with while the body is making the simple harmonic motion, the time period of the spring, the time period of the body t is equal to 2 pi into square root of 2 pi into let me take from the basic formula. Let me come from the basic formula. So what is the formula? 2 pi by omega. Omega is the formula is there. So you already well familiar with the acceleration of the simple harmonic body. A is equal to minus r omega square. This is the formula is there where A is equal to maximum condition. This is the formula I am taking. This is the condition, you know, na? Hello. We discussed already these formulas already. Then if you take the only magnitude of the acceleration is equal to, where only magnitude I am taking, A is equal to r minus r omega square, you will get only magnitude I am taking. From this one, omega square is equal to A by r will get, where omega is equal to square root of A by r we can get. So let me take in words, A is equal to acceleration of the oscillating body, acceleration of the oscillating body divided by where r is equal to displacement, I need to write here, it is better to, okay, no issue, where it is better to write y, it is the y na, y is the displacement of the body, so it is the y is the displacement of the body, so it is the displacement of the body. So here is the root is there, I need to take the square root. So the same formula can I write like this, the time period of the simple harmonic motion of the body, where time t is equal to 2 pi into square root of A by y. A by y means A is equal to acceleration of the body, y is equal to displacement of the body. Will you please look on this, let me take this equation number, anybody writing the running equation number? 3, this is the equation number 4. This is the equation number 4, this is the equation number 5. So now if we compare this equation number 3 and 5, I am comparing the equation number 3 and 5. Let me write the equation number 3 once again. So the equation number 3 is telling that A is equal to minus k by m into y. This is the formulas I am taking. So we will take only magnitude. So take only magnitude. Take only magnitude I am taking. So if you take the magnitude only, then how can we take this one? So then A is equal to k by m we will get into y we will get, but we need only a by y term. A by y term we are concentrating. Then send y this side. Then a by y is equal to k by m. K by m is there. This is the equation number 6. So then can I substitute the equation number 6 value in the equation number 5? So then by putting down, by substituting equation number 6 value, substituting value of 6 in equation number 5, then the time period t is equal to 2 pi square root of k by m. This is the formula we will get. Because of they are having the square root of a by y is there, instead of a by y we are having the k by m. So then can I write like this? Then t is equal to square root of 2 pi into square root of m by k. We can write like this also, m by k. M by k. That means this is the formula for the time period of the spring loaded system. What is the, in this one, m is equal to mass of the load what is attached to the spring. M is equal to mass of the load which is attached to the system, where k is equal to spring constant. If you know these two values, we can easily find out the time period of the oscillating of the spring loaded system. Now one more condition I am moving, another condition I am moving. Let me move on to the another condition. You can easily understand that one also. That is a very important. Let me move on to that one also. Please wait, ma. So let's see what is the happen for this one means. So what I told you according to the Hooke's law. So what I told you, Hooke's law is telling that the restoring force F is equal to F is directly proportional to K into L if we take only magnitude in terms. But what I am telling that if the restoring force is generated only due to the weight of the body. That means when this is the spring, this is the initial spring we am taking. So after I am attaching the load on this one, just I attached the load on the spring. So due to this load only the spring is elongated, some distance L distance is elongated. This is the elongation of the spring. Then how can you write this formula? So if the mass of the spring, mass of the load which is attached to the m, this extension is arranged due to the mass which is attached on the string. That means here is the weight. Force is nothing but weight only. Force F is equal to weight W only. W is equal to mg only. Then mg is equal to K into L. So that means up to now what we discussed, L is equal to, we consider the y only. Let me take y itself, the K into y only. So then can I look on this one? So what is that saying that? So our goal is to find out the m by k. M by k term we needed. So then send this k this side, scan this k this side. That is equal to m by k is equal to y by g. Y by g is there. Then can I take the time period equation one more time, then rewrite the time period equation. Then time period t is equal to 2 pi into square root of m by k. Instead of m by k, what can I write? Y by g. So in some textbooks they are taking that the elongation of the spring is L. In some textbook they are taking the elongation of the spring is Y. In some textbook they are taking the elongation of the spring is E. So in better to write all formulas here itself. Square root of t by L by g also we can take, and t by 2 pi square root of E by g also we can take. All are telling the same only. It is the extension, it is the length of extension, it is the elongation or extension. All are same terms only. This formula is a very important formula which we are going to apply in the problems. Let me check this one. What is the difference between the two formulas? Let me write the two formulas aside and let me discuss here. So what are the formulas we arrived? T is equal to 2 pi into square root of m by k, we got the formula, and also t is equal to square root of 2 pi l by g also formula we got. So these formulas we need to apply. The first formula can be applied if you know the mass what is attached to the spring. If you know the spring constant of the spring, then only you can find out the time period of the oscillating spring loaded spring system. And if this formula can be used, if you know the how much extension is observed, how much extension is observed in the string, and also what is the acceleration due to gravity, we observed, then we can easily find out the spring oscillation of the spring. That is the formula we need to know. Let me correct one small word. Let me correct ma. Please wait 1 minute. Here I need to tell one small wrong equation I told you. Please correct me. Let me correct this one. Here L is the length of the string. Here is the length of the string. That is the very, very important. Let me cross verify. 1 minute. Please wait 1 minute. Yes, what we discussed is the absolutely correct only. Everything is correct only. Nothing I told you wrong. Absolutely correct. Everything is correct only. Now, if some cases, what I told you, in some cases, the problems will involve by considering the spring masses also. Let me take one of the spring is there. This spring mass is the m dash. They are given. So the load. Yes, please. Please. If you have yes, everything is done. Y is the elongation, L is the elongation, E is the elongation. All are elongations only, or extension only. Huh? So then in some cases they will give the spring masses also. They will tell that please consider the spring mass in mass also while considering the calculating the time period of the oscillating system. Then take the mass of the system is mass of the load which is attached to the system is m. In that cases we have the formula. There is no any derivation this formula. It has the sum of the huge derivation is there by considering the different type of integrations. That's why that formula is 2 pi into square root of m. Up to now we know the formula m divided by k. We have the formula, but in this one we need to attach m plus m dash divided by 3. This formula we need to attach. Extra term only we got the term is m dash divided by 3. This formula we need to, this word term we need to add to the system. Where this formula we need to use by considering the spring mass also. This is the time period of the spring loaded spring system. While considering the spring mass also, then we need to add m dash divided by 3 system. Then m dash divided by 3. Here m dash is equal to mass of the spring. Where m is equal to mass of the load. So that is the very important. This formula also we are going to use in the while we are solving the problems. That is also important. Let me move on to the system. If the spring mass system, so what is the change in the what is the change in the spring mass system? So what is the time period of this spring mass system? better to go to the second case also. I told you the spring is connected in the vertical type. So in the some problems they won't give these type of problems. They will use the horizontal vibrations of the spring. So let me move on to that one also. Horizontal vibrations of the spring. Same topic will come. Once again I need to repeat that one. So horizontal vibrations of the spring. So the same discussion will come. That means how the horizontal spring can be conducted. So the one side of the rigid support will be available to the spring. So to this one spring is connected on the spring. So here the surface of this one is the very smooth. It is a very smooth surface. That means it does not consisting of any frictional force. On this one, the spring is connected with the one load. So this is the one mass is there. The mass of the spring is m here. So due to our external force, the spring is the mass is pulled some distance. Let me take this is the pull distance of the mass. Up to this distance is pulled, then the spring must be extended. This is the extension of the spring due to the pulling force of the spring. Again, what we discuss, the restoring force what we generated in the spring F is equal to the spring constant of the spring under the elongation of the spring F is equal to minus kx. We will get the same problem but they are in the opposite direction. Again same formula we will get. Then the F is equal to ma is equal to, if we take the k by L, again what we will get. Sir, if we take the only magnitude, so the a by m is equal to a by L. So that means if we take the only magnitude is equal to, if you can remove the negative term here, we are removing. If we take the only magnitude, again I will take the time period t is equal to while the body is oscillating, time period t is equal to square root of 2 pi by what is the formula? 2 pi by acceleration into 2 pi by into displacement by acceleration. This is the formula we are having. So if we take this inversion of this one, that means L by A is equal to m by k. Then t is equal to same formula. I am rewriting once again that one, m by k only. The same formula we need to apply while the body is horizontally vibrating also. Same formula we need to apply in the case of horizontal. Again, if we take the same what we taken in the vertical spring loaded spring system, also the same formulas can be applicable in the horizontal vibrating spring system also. The same formulas can be applicable. This is the horizontal vibrating system. Let me move on to another cases. I told you the spring constant k is always directly proportional to L of this one. That means I told you K1 L1 is equal to K2 L2 and so on. This one I told you. So before dealing the concept, once again I am recalling the one of the important topic. Let me take this is the one table which is consisting of only one leg. So the table which is having the single leg, on the table I put one of the weight of the body, that is the weight of the body is equal to 40 kgs. So then my question is how much force which will be experienced on the legs of the body. Here is the one leg table is there. What is the force on the experienced on the leg? So that force is equal to, the force is nothing but weight of the weight, how much kept we on, that weight is equal to mg, that is equal to 40 kgs I kept, g is equal to 40 into g. If we take the g is equal to 10 means so 400 Newton force will be experienced. Now this is a single leg table. But what are the case? So if I am taking here is the two leg tables. I am taking the one leg is here, another leg is here. I kept the force 40 Newton force here. So you can easily tell that the two legs will be the force will be uniformly distributed. That means these force will be distributed equally to the same legs. That means the force will be shared by the two legs. That means I kept the force F is here, means the legs, two legs are available here. F by 2 force will be shared here. F by 2 force will be shared here. If the four legs are there, then how much force will be? How much force will be shared in each leg? So that is equal to F by 4. There are the four legs are there. So the force will be shared here F by 4, F by 4 and F by 4. That is the force. How can you say that one? So how can you say means the resultant force will be must be summation of the all forces. This is the total force always must be equal to the F. How can we get these F by 2 plus F by 2? If you add this one, you will get F. If the 4 F by 4, if you add this one, you will get the F only. The only we are adding the F force, the force which is acting at the center of mass is F only. But each leg, on each leg, what is the force is acting? The four legs are uniform distance are there. Then the F by 4, F by 4, F by 4 force will be force will be experienced on the each leg. That is the concept you need to recall once again. Let me move on to the system. If the springs are connected in the series manner, what will happen? If the springs are connected in the parallel manner, what will happen for the spring constant of the system? That is our goal. So then the next concept is equivalent spring constant. The next concept is second concept is equivalent. Let me move on to the equivalent spring constant. We are going to find out this equivalent spring constant K of equivalent value. In this one we are taking the special cases. The first case is springs are connected in the series. Springs are connected in series. So this case we are discussing. So we will have the two different cases. First case we are going to discuss. After that we will go to the second case. Let me take, there are the two springs are there. So this is the spring. First two spring is here. So the spring, the spring which is having spring S1 is there. It is the name of the spring S1. Not is the length of the spring. So the length of this, the spring constant, spring constant of the spring is equal to K1. So in the bottom of this one, again one more spring is connected. This one more spring is there. The name of the spring is S2. The spring constant of the spring is K2. K2 is the spring constant is there. So now what will happen means these two springs at bottom of the spring we are attached one load. Then the bottom of the spring is we attach the load. While we are attaching the load, the springs will be elongated. Definitely they will elongate it. Due to the, if we attach the load here means definitely they will pull down. Due to the pull down force, definitely the springs will be elongated. Now for this one I am taking the reference line. This one I am taking the reference line like this. Now we attach the load. So then due to the load the springs are elongated. So that means this spring is elongated some more distance. Up to here is the distance they are elongated. So again this spring also elongated. It is went on going to the another position. Again it will went on. So due to this load, this is we attach to the load. So the mass what we attach to the system is equal to, let me take M. M mass we attach to this one. So then will you please look on this one. This is the elongation of the first spring. So the first spring is elongated. This is the elongation of the first spring X2. Sorry X1. X1 first spring elongation is the X1. So will you please look on this one? Now I am taking this one. So this is the this length is showing that one. So due to the total length, this is the total length of the string. So if we take this, if we take from this point to this point, it will tell us that what will tell us that from this point to this point will tell us that it is the x, it is the total extension of the due to the two strings. It is the total extension of the two strings. Let me take that is the x. Let me take the x. X is equal to x is nothing but it is the total extension of the x1 and the total extension the extension in the x2. How can we get the x2 value? So if we subtract the total extension x minus x1, you will get the x2 value. That value may be somewhere here. That value may be somewhere here. It is the x2 value. So are you getting or not? So this means this side one vertical scale is there, this side one vertical scale is there. Before attaching this vertical scale, this is showing that, let me take this is the 30 centimeter. So after extension, the first thing is extension 10 meter distance. We got the x1 value. So after loading, after loading these two strings, the two strings before the extension, the two strings is here. Somewhere it is the 50 centimeter distance. After attaching these two, we got the 70 centimeter distance. This is equal to x1 plus x2 value. How can we get only x2 value? So the 70 minus 10 centimeters is equal to, you will get how can we get this x1 plus x2 value? X1 plus x2 value means these value is equal to x1 plus x2 value. 50 minus 70 is equal to 20 centimeters. Sorry, let me take 80 centimeter this one. So 50 minus 80 is equal to 30 centimeter distance. This is equal to x1 plus x2 we got. From this one, how can we get x2 value? Just to subtract from the x1 plus x2 minus x1 value, you will get the x2 value. How much extension are we observed in the second string? Are you getting or not? Hello? So let me explain one more time. So this is the vertical scale we are having. So vertical scale we are having before attaching the load. Let me take this is the original initial position of the first string. It is the initial position of the first string. If we are attaching the load on the if we are attaching the load to the string, so it is the initial position of the two springs. So it is the initial position of the two springs. This is the initial position. These are the position. While we are attaching the load, the total string is extended. That means what is the extension is observed in the first string means that the bottom place of the extension place of the first string and its initial position is we will get the x1 value. We got this one with help of the vertical scale. This is the, let me take it is the 30 meter. After this we are getting the 40 centimeter. So now while we are attaching this one, it is the initial length of the two string bottom level. This is the two string bottom level. While we are attaching the load, the two string bottom level is went on to the 80 centimeter distance. Then you can easily get this length. This length is nothing but it is the extension due to the two strings. Because of from the bottom level to bottom level we are moving. That is, it is extension to the two string, that is equal to the first string extension plus the second string extension. We will get the x value. It is the extension due to the two string, that is equal to 30 centimeter. How we will get only extension to the second string? Our goal is to find out the first extension to the second string. That means x1 plus x2. If we take the subtract to the x1 once again, you will get the extension to the second string. That means to get the x2. So to get x2, what we need to do? We need to subtract the x minus x1. That is equal to x means x1 plus x2 minus x1. x1 is cancelled. x2 value we will get. That means what I told you. So if the total length is equal to 30 centimeter, so 30 centimeter minus 10 centimeter is equal to this small portion you will get. This small portion you will get. This portion is nothing but this portion is equal to 20 centimeter. This is nothing but x2 value. Are you getting or not?
Yes, sir.
So done.
Yes.
Okay, done. They will have a vertical scale. With the help of the vertical scale, you can easily find out everything. So now I already told you, will you please look on this one? What are the pulling force which is acting on this one? What are the pulling force? So the weight is nothing but here is the cause. The extension of the springs is the cause is nothing but weight only. So here, please take care about here. Here the same weight is acting. The same weight is acting to elongate in each spring. That is the very important. What is the force? Weight is nothing but force only, na? That force, weight is nothing but mg. We are attached with the mass is equal to m. So the weight is nothing but mg force is acting. So I already told you so that the spring the force, the spring constant, the elongation according to the Hooke's law, what is telling that the force F is directly proportional to the L, the extension of the spring. That is equal to F is equal to K into L. Minus is there. So what I told you, let me take only magnitudes. Then in the first strain for first spring, what can we take? So how much force is adding? We are attaching the only one force we are adding. So mg is equal to the K is equal to spring constant of the first spring, K1 into how much elongation we got? How much elongation we got in the first spring? X1 we got the first spring. So let me take equation number 1. Keep it like that. So now in the second spring also, let me take in the second spring. So mg, only one force we are adding. So K2 into X2. Let me take equation number 2. So due to the two springs means due to the two springs. So let me take the elongation is x1, x is we observed. The elongation is x only. Then according to Hooke's law, mg is equal to k. K here is the equivalent K because of two springs is attaching. Two springs are come to the picture here. That's why I am taking the K equivalent. And due to the two springs is equal to x. Let me take is the equation number 3. So from the diagram, will you please tell from the diagram, you can say that x is equal to x1 plus x2 only. This is the equation from the figure. So from the figure we can say that x is equal to x1 plus x2. So if you know the x value, if you know the x2 value, if you know the x1, x2 value, directly you can substitute. From this equation, x is equal to mg by k equivalent we will get. So from this equation, x2 is equal to mg by k2 we will get. From this equation, x1 is equal to mg by k1 we will get. Just to substitute all values in the given equation. So then substitute all the values in the given equation. Mg by k equivalent is equal to mg by k1 plus mg by k2. Mg all are same. Then cancel the thing. Then 1 by k equivalent is equal to 1 by k1 plus 1 by k2. So will you please take the LCM here. LCM means K1, K2 is the LCM. Then here is the K2, here is the K1, 1 by K equivalent. So what is our goal? Our goal is to find out the equivalent spring constant while the springs are connected in the series manner. Then K equivalent value is equal to K1 K2 divided by K1 plus K2. This is the formula for the K equivalent value. So if some cases they are asking what is the resultant time period of the system, they may ask the question like this: if the two springs are connected, then they will give the K1 K2 value. They will give the spring load, the mass which is added to the system. Then they may ask what is the time period of the system. Time period of the spring vertical spring system T is equal to 2 pi into square root of. Tell me anyone of the student.
M by K.
m by k. But in this case, we should not use this case because of there are the two springs are there. But what we need to take? We need to take k equivalent value. For this case, t is equal to 2 pi into square root of m by k equivalent. K equivalent. So we need to find out the first k equivalent value. Then we need to substitute in the given equation t is equal to 2 pi m by k. In this one, m we know they will give the how much load we attach to the system. K equivalent we need to find out. They will give the k1 value. They will give the k2 value. Then you can easily find out the time period of the total system. This is the case for the if the springs are connected in the series manner. Let me go to the second case. If the springs are connected in the parallel manner. Case 2, if the springs are connected in the parallel manner. Springs are connected. I already told you better to write the turning notes. Otherwise, you may get the confusion. Connected in parallel. So let me move on to this one. So what is mean by parallel connection means? Let me take one easy example. So there are the two type of examples is there. I am taking the better one. So take this one. It is the rigid support is there. Let me take this the rigid support. There are the two springs. Let me take this the one spring. This is the another spring. So we connected this spring one of the rod with like this connected. So the first spring constant is the K1. The second spring constant is the K2. So due to our external force, we applied some external force on this one. So we pulled this two springs in upward direction. We pulled these two springs in upward direction. Due to our force, the two springs will be elongated in the same distance. That is the very important case here. The two springs must be elongated in the same distance because of the two springs are connected in the parallel manner. That's right. Otherwise, I will take another case you can easily understand. Let me take the rigid support. The first spring is connected here. The second spring is connected here. So that the two springs are connected in the parallel. We can say that one. The load due to this one load is connected. Let me take that is called mg. Due to this load, the springs are they are coming down, so they are moving down like this. They are elongated like this. So that elongation is the same in the two springs because of the load which is attached to the two strings at a time. That is the very important. What is the problem here? See what is the problem here. So let me check this one. So this is the extension of the spring. It is the extension of the upward in the spring. That means the equivalent then the restoring force due to the two strings. The restoring force due to the two strings. Two spring combination. Two spring combination means a restoring force. How can you take? According to Hooke's law, the force is applied is directly proportional to the extension of the springs. It is a system I am taking. Two spring combination. How much force we applied? Mass is m means the force how much we can apply? Mg force we can apply. In these case and these case both are same. So the force is equal to mg is directly proportional. I am removing this proportionality means this formula is equal to F is equal to K. I am taking two spring means equivalent. Two equivalent into displacement. That is equal to mg into K equivalent into X. Don't take this a negative sign. Negative sign is indicating that the restoring force is opposite in the direction of the displacement. That is the very important. You can take negative time. After that you can remove this one also. No issue. So negative sign only magnitude. Then mg is equal to plus K equivalent into X. Negative sign indicate negative only magnitude I am taking. Only magnitude I am taking. So now tell me in the same manner what is the restoring force in the first spring? Restoring force in the first spring. Restoring force in first spring. Tell me the restoring force in the first spring. So restoring force in the first spring. How much force we applied? Hello.
mg force.
Mg force we applied. Hello. I already told you mg force we applied or mg force I applied or mg by 2 force is applied. mg by 2. mg by 2 na, it is the two springs are there. Two springs are there. I already told you. Let me go on to this one. So I already told you, if the table is consisting of two legs, if we apply the force on that one means, so then the force will be equally distributed. How many legs are there? So many, those many equal parts will be distributed. If I am substituting mg force means, here is the mg by 2, here is the mg by 2 will get. Are you getting or not? Then the restoring force on the first spring is equal to mg by 2 is equal to k1 into x. This is the equation number 1. This is the equation number 2. Equation number 2. In the similar manner, what is the here I taken the x only because of the first spring and second spring, their extension is the same extension. So in the same manner, what is the restoring force in the second spring? Restoring force in the second spring, mg by 2 is equal to k2 into x, equation number 3. But one thing you need to check here, so equation 1 mg can be written as, otherwise add these two, 2 and 3, just add 2 and 3, add 2 plus 3 is equal to mg plus 2 is equal to mg plus 3 is equal to mg only, that is equal to k1x plus k2x. But mg is equal to, from the equation 1, what we get? K equivalent of x is equal to k1x plus k2x. But x is the common term from each and every term, that is equal to k equivalent is equal to k1 plus k2. This is the very, very important. Our goal is to find out the k equivalent value while the springs are connected in the series manner, while the springs are connected in the parallel manner. That is the our goal. So now if they are asking this type of system, what is the formula for the time period? If they are asking this type of system, what is the time period? T is equal to 2 pi into square root of
m by k.
M by k equivalent we need to use. In this case, 2 pi into square root of m by k1 plus k2 you need to use. Accordingly, you need to use this one. So that is the formula for the resultant equivalent spring constant if the systems are connected, if the springs are connected in the series manner, if the springs are connected in the parallel manner. So better to have the some of the important rules, important results why the springs are about the springs. Better to note down that one, that important formulas also. So let me check. Yes, let me write that one. So there are the most important observations are there, important rules are there. Let me take while solving the keeping important points. They may ask in your theoretical type of questions. Then only they will ask. See what I am telling, that means I already told you. If k is directly proportional to the length of the spring, so the spring constant is directly proportional to length of the spring means so if length of the spring is increased, then the spring constant must be decreases. This is the first one. So the spring constant means how much restoring force will be generated in the unit length of the spring. So will you please observe that one? So if the spring is a very big size, you can easily extend that spring. If the spring is a very small size, you cannot extend it that one. Did you observe like this? Did you observe? No, huh? Okay, no issue. So what does it means? Means if the length of the spring is increasing, then the spring constant will be decreases. If the length of the spring is decreasing, then the spring constant must be increases. Now from this one we will get the sum of the conclusions. some of the conclusions we will get. So if the length of the spring is made in n times, we increase the n times. Let me take, if the length of the spring is made n times. That means we increase the length of the spring is n times. Then what is the spring constant will, whether the spring constant will increases or spring constant will decreases?
Decreases.
Then the effective spring constant will be decreases in 1 by n times. Then the effective spring constant, very very important, spring constant will be decreases. How can it will decreases? 1 by n into k value. 1 by n into k value. Let me do the first case. So what they are telling that? So the first case, k is equal to 1 by l only. This is the first case. So what they are telling that? So they are increasing the length n times. That is equal to k is equal to 1 by n time of l. So if this value is increases, then can I write like this? It is the second case, k2. It is the k1. So k1, it is the l1. But they are saying that they are moving to the another l2 value. But l2 is equal to n time of l1. N times of l1. So then they are telling that then k2 is equal to 1 by n into l1 we can write. But we can take the 1 by l1, we can take the k1 value, na? 1 by l1 is equal to k1 value. That is equal to k1 divided by n we got. Then what we are getting that is equal to 1 by n into k1 value. That is equal to, it is the decreased because of, it is the denominator term we are observing. It is the decreasing, k2 value is decreasing. How many times it is decreasing? 1 by n time. 1 by n times it is decreasing. What I used means n time it is decreasing. Otherwise it will change as 1 by n times. 1 by n times it will change. That is the very very important. Now if we go to the time period for this case, if we go to the time period, let me take in this case time period. This case time period t is equal to 2 pi into square root of, what is the formula? M by k1, so m by k1, it is the case 1. But in this case t is equal to 2 pi square root of m by k2. But k2 is equal to, tell me the k2 value. K2 is equal to 1 by n, k1 by n. That is equal to 2 pi into square root of m by k1 divided by n. But n will denominator, it will come numerator position. So that is equal to 2 pi into square root of I will write root n here. Again I will write root into m by k1 I will write. Can I write it? No issue, na?
Yes, sir.
So, but 2 pi into m by k1 is nothing but time period of the first case. Will you please check this one? Time period of the first case only, na?
Yes, sir.
Time period of the first case. This is the time period of the first case. Then if we take this time period of the second case, then what will happen? Time period of the second case, t2 is equal to root n times of the t1. Root n times of the t1 we are observing. Are you getting or not? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So that means what is our conclusion? If the length of the spring is made to the n times, then time period will be increases with root n times. Are you getting or not?
Yes, sir.
So that is the very very important. They will ask in the competitive exam. They will ask in the problem solving also. These formulas or these conclusions you need to remember very carefully. Then it is the increasing condition we discussed. While the spring is decreasing. If the spring is decreasing, let me go to the second case, second conclusion, second observation. If the spring is divided into n equal parts, is divided n equal parts, So that means we decrease the length to n parts. Let me take, this is the original length of the spring. It is the original length of the spring. So in the case 1 k1 value. But what we taken, we taken the, this is the length of the spring is L1. Then we took only small length. What is the length means? L divided by, sorry, L1 divided by n parts. We are discussing only this spring only. N parts we divided. What about this spring constant K2? Our goal is to find out the spring constant of the K2. What is the formula? So draw the formulas in each case. Write the formulas in each case. Tell me the spring constant. What is the spring constant formula? According to Hooke's law. So force is directly proportional to length of the spring. Force is equal to K into L. Only magnitude I am taking. L1 I am taking. But what about this case? Force is equal directly proportional to L2. In this case L1 we are having. So that force is equal to is the K1. K1. So force is equal to, same force I am applying. So force is equal to K2 into L2. But what about L2 value? L2 value is equal to L1 by n parts we divided. L1 by n parts we divided. Hello. Are you getting or not? Hello. If we divide the spring in n parts. We divided the spring in n parts. Are you getting or not? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me take this one. I took some of the another manner. So the condition I took wrong. Here I took wrong. What is the formula we are having? Spring constant formula only directly is available, So I am moving in the wrong direction. Tell me the spring constant directly formula. K is directly proportional to 1 by L. K is directly proportional to 1 by L. In the case 1, what is the value? K1 is directly proportional to 1 by L1. Where K1 is equal to 1 by L1. We will take like this. Like this we will take. Some constant is there. No, don't care about that constant. Don't care about that constant. What we took in this case? K1 is equal to, just case I am taking, some constant is there, don't care about that constant. Now if you go to this case, K2 is equal to directly proportional to 1 by L2, but K2 is equal to some constant into 1 by L2, but L2 is equal to K into some constant into same constant only, but L2 is equal to, we divided the L1 in equal number of parts, L1 by, where L2 is equal to L1 by N. We divided the total spring in the N equal parts. Then this is the K2, K2. Then K2 is equal to some constant into N divided by L1. N divided by N1. Well, you compare this one, compare these two. Will you please compare these two? So this part is telling that K1 only. This part is telling that K1 only, Some constant. C is the constant. Let me fix the constant. C is the constant. Let me fix the C is the constant. C is the constant. Then C by L1 is equal to K1 only. Then K2 is equal to K1 into N. K1 into N. What is our conclusion? Tell me the conclusion. So if the spring is divided into N equal parts, then the equivalent spring constant of the final spring is N time of its initial spring constant. Is it correct only,
Yes, sir.
So that the conclusion is here. That conclusion is very, very important. If the spring is divided to n equal parts, then the final spring constant is equal to n into spring constant, n into initial spring constant. Is it correct only? Na? That is equal to K equivalent is equal to N time of K initial. That is only, na? Hello?
Yes, sir.
That is the formula. What about the time period in this case? What about the time period in this case?
T is equal to
Original formula. This is the first case, this is the second case. So this is the first case, this is the second case. For the first case time period is equal to T is equal to 2 pi into square root of M by K1. This is the formula. So what about this case? T is equal to 2 pi into square root of M by K2 formula. But K2 is equal to Nk is there. K2 is equal to Nk1. Let me take Nk1. Otherwise take it the K. Any one formula you need to follow. Nk is there. Then 2 pi into square root of M by Nk we will get. Can I write this formula like this? I am taking 2 pi root divided by M by K like this. I am taking 1 by root N separately. Can I take like this? Just I took only root N separately. Root N I put separately in ours. So the remaining everything is showing like this only, na? This word only showing, na? Hello? This is the T2. This is the T1. That means T2 is equal to 1 by root N into T1 value. So what is our conclusion? If the spring is divided into N equal parts, then the time period of the final spring will be decreases in N root N times. It is a decreases to root N times. Are you getting or not? Hello? It is a divided, it is a decreasing. This is the final time period of the spring. In the previous case, will you please check in the previous case? It is increased. It is increased. See, this is the increased. Root N times the time period is increased in the final spring. So in the present case, if they are divided into N equal parts, the time period is decreased 1 by root N times. This formula also very very important. So that means one more important thing is there. That means K is directly proportional to L. I am telling that means see what is the definition of the K? Definition of the spring means how much amount of force constant for the unit extension. Let me take the definition of the K. K definition tell me K is equal to force restoring force divided by extension. This formula only, no? So that means if the K value is higher, means the extension value must be smaller. Are you getting or not? Hello?
yes, sir.
That means for higher spring constant, the spring is more stiffer. Are getting or not? We cannot elongate that spring. It is the more stiffer spring, we will say. If K is lower means the extension must be higher, na?
Yes, sir.
So what is the meaning of that one? So that means the lower spring constant material can be easily extensible. Are you getting or not?
Yes, sir.
So that means that word I am writing here. So the force constant is higher. The force constant higher springs are more stiffer. Stiffer means we cannot elongate them. That is the word. More stiffer. That means the reverse case means the force constant is lower. Lower springs are easily extensible. Easily extensible springs is nothing but soft springs. That word we will use the soft springs. So these were also very very important. They will ask in your examination. They will check the content what you know. So better to stop here. The time is nearly 12:50. Nearly 12:50. So let me stop. These conclusions are very very important. Without these content, this is a very very important. Repeatedly they are asking in your entrance examination.